Good morning, it's BFM Headlines again. I'm Sharad Kutan, and this morning we start with the Sun newspaper. So there you have it. Villagers to sue TNB? Question mark. Yes, we don't know if they will, but some 100 police reports have gone out on this case. And remember that when the floodgates were open at TNB, there was much damage. The question is how much that damage has amounted to. What we do know is TNB's put aside 200,000 ringgit, and that doesn't seem like very much considering the damage caused. Is TNB liable? We don't know. But the person who's taking up the case is M. Manoharan. He actually lost in the Cameron Highlands general election contest against the MIC head. So he's got a political agenda too. I mean, I guess everybody does. Question is, are the floodgates of litigation open this time? Okay, next we have Sina Harian. Now, Sina Harian is banging the drums of the Malay agenda with this headline. It has Tun Mahathir, because it claims to be an exclusive, but I think these days getting an interview with Mahathir is not that difficult. He needs a voice, and Sina Harian is providing that platform. This is a follow-up to the story on the Petronas issue, the controversy apparently that Petronas is sidelining Bumiputras and Malays in their policies. So if you want to get a deeper insight into the thinking of the man that ran this country for 22 years, this is the newspaper to read. The New Straits Times has a bit of pro-government propaganda here. It's making the argument for the GST. It's fait accompli when it comes to the GST. It's going to be rolling out in 2015. This is a story about that. Actually much more interesting, it's not the front page, it's the Metro section of the NST. Confessions of a transvestite. Just want to make it clear, transvestite does not equal sex worker, though in this story that little conflation is made. Just keep that straight in your mind. Cross-dressers are cross-dressers, sex workers are sex workers. Sometimes cross-dressers do sex work. So if you want a bit of salacious stuff, that's it. Also, Desa Mentari apparently is notorious. But the people there, some of them anyway, want to turn over a new leaf. A few cliches to start your morning off. Okay, Britha Harian has a story about a legislation that's up for change. That's the Bankruptcy Act of 1967. Apparently, bankrupts are going to get a second chance. But more importantly, again in the middle of this newspaper, will couples committing kalwat get a second chance? I'm not quite sure. I'm personally against the state coming into our bedrooms or into our cars we've parked late at night in dark spots in parks and such. I think it does in fact augur very badly for a country when the government is given a chance to dictate your sexual morality, but that's a decision and a question for all of you out there. Also to note, something called skodeng, if you haven't heard of it, it's the culture of spying and spying on the naughty do's of couples. Okay, so there we have it. The Malay Mail's front page is replete with puns and alliteration this morning, stung by the dengue spike it has. And over here, shabu in pumpkin ploy squashed. So pumpkin ploy, nice little plosive illustration for you who feel the need for that early in the morning. If you don't, you could always try some cereal. Okay, so there we have the Star. The Star has a much more serious front page. It's on dialysis, the problems of poor people get dialysis. Many of them have been on waiting lists for years, and that's not a happy situation. So there you have it. Also in Utusan carries on with its coverage of the DAP and PAS and Pakatan, and as always frames the coalition as a shaky one, and perhaps it is. I mean, there's some issues of divergence of ideologies. In this one, the apparent statement made by Karpal is that religious and ethnic-based parties be dissolved. And of course, PAS, being a religious-based party, is against that. But there you have it. Also, to note these two individuals here, a young girl who died while taking an SPM. She was only 25 minutes into the question paper when she collapsed. It's very sad. Harian Metro has it as jawab 25 minit, which means she basically had 25 minutes before she died. I don't know what the cause of it is, and I don't think anybody will know for some time. Now, the other things to note, the Edge Financial Daily, big picture of our man here, Tony Fernandez, and also the listing of Baraka and Carex. These interviews and the interviews with the CEOs of these two companies are done on BFM, so check it out. That's on podcast. In fact, the Baraka interview was done just this morning. So that's something. Malaysian Review doesn't have anything great interest, except perhaps if you are following this man, Syed Mokhtar. He's a big man, and for some people, a little too big, too much in control of the Malaysian economy. Why that has come to pass? It's a question I think the media should be asking, but isn't really at the moment. So that's all I have for you this morning on BFM's Morning Headlines. I'm Sharad Kuttan, BFM 89.9.